and go back to this screen. Oh, not that screen. This screen. And I'm just going to rock it for this series for completion's sake. But in the upper left, we have our yellow Terran player, Ego. And in the bottom left, we have Daddy, our green Protoss player. So yeah, this is an absolutely massive, massive map. This is actually the one map I can't remember the name of. We have Cactus Valley, we have Infernal Pools, we have Coda LE, we have Echo LE, we have Vanny Research Station, and we have this. Whatever this is. I don't know what this is. Can somebody tell me? I don't know. But at any rate, we should see... it's not surprising to see players go greedy, so I'm expecting that, you know, Terrans, this Terran and Protoss player, they've shown us their timing pushes, they've shown us a little bit of their proxy Stargate from Daddy, which is not legal in many states. But I'm wondering to see if who will play greedy or who will play aggressive, and just because of the size of this map, the sheer size of this map, we might be in for a decently long game, longer than the ones we've seen so far, if for nothing else than the travel time. So, of course, Daddy getting that first gas, getting that one gate, he's probably going to easily expand and do a very similar thing to what he did last game. He's getting that Cybercorp. Yeah, and nothing crazy so far from Ego. He should be building that second barracks here any moment now and getting, of course, that other supply depot unless he decides to go for a more standard build. And Ego will actually be able to scout out his opponent first. This SEV will be able to cross the map, go down into the bottom left, and spot Daddy. Nothing too scary. If he's fast enough, he may even be able to prevent the natural, but no, the Ego just runs right out of town. This Reaper, however, will be the nuisance that Reapers commonly are. He's going to scout. He's going to probably get down a probe. Ego's been pretty good with his Reaper control. So let's see what happens here. He begins engaging these probes. He begins to hurt two of them. Oh, and immediately the Mothership Core appears, but not before Ego can actually knock out one of Daddy's probes. And of course, here we see the pylon. I wonder if we're going to see another proxy Stargate. He is getting those minerals there. Ego, in the meantime, is expanding into his natural, doing pretty standard Terran stuff, or at least standard for him. He's grabbing that second barracks first before the factory. And there's the Stargate. So Daddy will probably be pumping out some oracles. I doubt it'll be Phoenix. We haven't seen that out of Daddy so far. But we have seen Void Rays, and we certainly have seen oracles, and he's used them quite effectively. And of course that probe scout will go down, so I'm going to go ahead and double check something here. I have about 8 viewers right now. That's wonderful. Hello everyone. I hope you're having a good time. Please say something in chat if you notice anything wrong with the stream, or you feel as if Sleeping Drone TV can improve. I would love that. And of course you can follow us at Twitter, Sleeping Drone TV. And yeah, these players are still playing pretty similarly. Nothing that's different from these previous games, or at least the last game so far. Daddy is opening up with Oracle first, and we see +1 coming out of Ego, as well as a turret. I suspect that, I have this sneaking suspicion that Ego has this sneaking suspicion that there's another Stargate play coming out of Daddy. It would make sense. On a map like this, proxy Stargate is probably not all that uncommon. In fact, it's not all that uncommon in standard matches as it is. So he will delay that factory. However, this Oracle is not going to be as effective as last time. The Marines are in just the right position. There is that turret already stationed right in the mineral line of the main, and that Oracle's just basically going to have the door closed in his face. He's not going to be able to put a lot of pressure here on Ego, and Daddy will be forced to get another Oracle, it seems, but also to get more probes, which is really what he wants to do behind this. He wants to do damage, he wants to build probes, and he wants to make more money and get even just a slight edge over his Terran opponent. So we see here the factory, of course, getting that reactor just as he has in so many games so far. He's getting that third barracks. He's going to swap these two buildings here, and he's going to begin pumping out medevacs. With a map like this, especially with so much, not negative space, but open space between these two mains, I would not be surprised at all if instead of Ego trekking across the map slowly, that he's going to instead make this into a drop. So he still does, of course, have to worry about these two oracles, and he has a void ray to worry about coming out soon. Not that he knows, but I'm sure he suspects, since Daddy's playing pretty similarly to how he has been these last few games. And these oracles, of course, going to be closed out, but they do get they are going to be revealed. What is that? A revelation? That's right. Revelation is going to be placed on these Marines and Marauders here. So he gets free vision. If we look, he gets to see all of them, which is super cool. Even on these supply depots, that's even better. So he is going to begin to move out. Is he going to load up, or is he going to worry about these oracles first? It kind of remains to be seen. He definitely has to worry about these oracles. They're kind of threatening to go into that mineral line, and Daddy's actually kind of pinning Ego's army back from being aggressive. And if we go back here, there are two void rays, another one on the way. Concussive shell has begun for Ego, and these oracles are going to dive in. They're going to try to knock out the Tekla, but they're only going to do a little bit of damage. Ooh, they actually snipe one of the SCVs, but they're going to run away. These Marines, or did I say Marines? The SCVs is what he picked off. But these Marines will be able to shut out the oracles again. Ego kind of stuck back in his base. He's not really able to advance with the threat of these oracles moving in to eliminate a bunch of SCVs, because what Ego really needs is to maintain his current economic lead, well, he's actually, I don't feel as if he's quite in the lead right now. It looks like a pretty even game, but he wants to keep it that way. He doesn't want to lose, or rather, he doesn't want to gain a disadvantage. I promise I'm getting better at this. Alright, and we can see that Daddy will actually get a chance to move out this game. Those oracles did a great job of pinning back Ego's army. Daddy's going to be able to cross part way through the map. He's kind of waiting for everyone to gather up. He's waiting for the mothership core. He's also microing those oracles. Ego, he might try to meet him out away from the natural and allow reinforcements to stream in. In fact, that's what it's looking like. But I don't know, it'll definitely be an interesting fight here. They're really not committing to anything quite yet. The probe's going to, of course, try to get that proxy pylon down. Void Rays, all four of them, and including these zealots that were warped in by the Stargate, they're all going to join together, and they are actually in a great position to threaten the natural if they move in, but then again, they may not want to be crushed in, or caught between two forces, the reinforcements and this main army of Ego. Ego being prevented from engaging Daddy due to these force fields, but I don't know, this engagement's almost inevitable. Daddy is in a great position to dictate the terms of this engagement, and of course, a little bit of skirmishing. Are they going to move in? They definitely have some force fields. The mothership is going to go down. Daddy has no exit strategy. Ego's going to try to knock out these proxy pylons. These force fields not so great, not pinning Ego in. And it looks like they're gonna have to chase each other. In fact, looks like Daddy's gonna feint back to the proxy pylons, threatening that natural again. In fact, he's gonna go straight for the natural. He says, "There's no point fighting out here. I have the army. I have the advantage. I'm gonna do the damage now." And that's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna knock down these two turrets. He's gonna move into the natural. He's gonna begin to do a lot of damage here. This engagement is about to happen. Ego kind of in. Killing some zealots here, engaging the main army finally of Daddy. These void rays cutting through these Marines, but the Marines knocking him down a little bit too fast. These zealots not doing a whole lot in the back of the mineral line. They're not engaging, they're not fighting with those void rays, and this might be the end of Daddy's army here. Ego will hold, and unfortunately, Daddy didn't do a lot of damage, didn't do enough damage to make that worthwhile. He now has to worry about Ego crossing the map with his relatively small army now, but still Marauder heavy, still so dangerous. And of course, these reinforcements are going to stream across the map. Ego safe now. He's going to move out and take his third. This is when Terran gets really dangerous for Protoss. And Daddy's trying to escape with this third here, but it is spotted. Ego, in fact, not going to bother with the natural. There's too much defending it here. He's going to instead take out the third, continue, or rather keep his advantage in economy. And Daddy's going to try to force an engagement here. He's going to try to save his third. Of course, not going to succeed. These force fields preventing escape, but Ego doesn't want to escape. He's going to actually take those sentries, and now all Daddy has to his name is or does he even have the Mothership Core? Yes, but all he has to his name is Zealots, and those Zealots are just going to be stutter step to death here. Daddy has to bleed Ego a little bit, but he's not succeeding in that. So he's going to get a few Archons here. These will be really important, but those Marauders are so dangerous even to Archons. In fact, Ego is just going to cut them straight down. Those Archons did do a little bit of damage to that army, but it's just not enough. And Daddy is probably about to be forced to be tapped out here. The Mothership Core is going to get him. Looks like Daddy is from the EU server, and he will GG out and tap out under the